Hi, welcome to Biology classes with Lakshmi Chandra. In today's session, I'll take you to a wonderful tool in biotechnology called as cloning vectors. In the previous session, we learned about the features of cloning vectors one after the other. I told you the importance of those features with respect to a cloning vector. Today, I'll take an example of a cloning vector and then help you out in understanding those features a bit more clearly. So today let me take you to the features of a cloning vector. It is an artificial cloning vector named as PBR322. This is such a small name, PBR322. So here I have drawn two circles. These two circles itself says the definition of a plasmid, isn't it? So what is a plasmid? They are double-stranded circular DNA molecules and they are found outside the chromosome. That means they are extra-chromosomal double-stranded DNA molecules. So that is what I have just drawn here, two circles. Okay, so this plasmid that I am going to take today is PBR322. See the name of the plasmid, PBR322. First we should understand what is this PBR322. What does this PBR and 322 stands for? Of course, P. Can you guess what does this P stand for? Yeah, it is plasmid because we are going to deal with plasmids. So that is it. P stands for plasmid, and you see here P is always written in small letters. B and R in capital letters. Okay, this is how you name. The nomenclature of a plasmid is like that. So here P stands for plasmid. Plasmid. B stands for Bolivar. And R for Rodriguez. Bolivar, Rodriguez. They are the two scientists who developed this particular artificial plasmid. This is not naturally occurring in any of the bacterial cell, but this was developed artificially in a laboratory. Okay, by Bolivar and Rodriguez, their team. And this 322, they have given this number in order to distinguish this particular plasmid among other artificial plasmids that they have developed. That means they have developed many artificial plasmids. So in order to distinguish that, they have given this number. So the plasmids are distinguished based on their numbers, as and how they actually produce it. Okay, so PBR322. I hope you understood the name. Plasmid, Bolivar, Rodriguez, 322 after the discovery, to distinguish this plasmid from the other plasmids that they have produced in that particular laboratory. Okay, so that's it. PBR322. Now in the last session, I had explained to you regarding these three features which is very much essential for a cloning vector. So this PBR322 is also a cloning vector. It is an artificial cloning vector. Okay, so it should have the first feature, that is, it should have an origin of replication. So let me just mark it here. This region, I am marking it as ORI, and this ORI here stands for origin of replication. Origin of replication. Now then, next feature is it should have selectable marker genes. Selectable marker genes. And I told you this is usually an antibiotic resistant gene or any gene which imparts some additional property for the host cell. So that was explained in the last session. So in order to understand this very clearly, please subscribe the channel and see this video just before this that I have put regarding cloning vectors. Okay, you'll understand that concept very clearly, and this is very important for a cloning vector. So here let me just tell you, in PBR 322, there are two selectable marker genes. Okay, two selectable marker genes. So I have just marked the area of the selectable marker genes like this. So this is one region of a selectable marker gene. This is another region. So this selectable marker gene is tetracycline resistant. I am putting it as TETR. And this particular gene is ampicillin resistant gene. I put two terms, ampicillin, tetracycline. You know, they are all antibiotics. Both of them are antibiotics. But this region is imparting the additional property. I told you selectable marker genes impart some additional property to this plasmid. So what is the additional property for this? This plasmid is having a gene in this area which imparts resistance towards tetracycline. That means if this plasmid is present in a bacterial cell, and if this bacterial cell is exposed to tetracycline antibiotics, the bacterial cell, it will not harm. Tetracycline will not harm that particular bacterium, because tetracycline resistant region is there. Tetracycline resistant region. Similarly, if the bacterial cell is put in ampicillin medium, again the bacterium will not lose anything. The bacterium can survive in that medium because it is having again ampicillin resistant region. But that bacteria will not be able to withstand penicillin or any other antibiotics because those regions are not present. So these are the two selectable marker regions. These are the two regions which is imparting additional property. Okay. Now, in this region, in tetracycline resistant region and in ampicillin resistant region, there are some cloning sites present. Cloning sites. You know, cloning sites are the areas where restriction enzyme can come and make a cut over there, and in that space we can insert our gene of interest, and our gene of interest will be produced in many numbers. That is cloning, because it is having origin of replication. Okay, so here in tetracycline resistant region, it can be cut using two restriction enzymes. One is BAM-H1, and another one is SAL1. BAM-H1 and SAL1. Okay. Similarly, in this region, it can be cut using PVU1 and PST1. PVU1 and PST1 can make a cut in this region. So that is cloning site. Cloning site is the area where restriction enzymes can come and make a cut. There we can insert our gene of interest which has to be cloned. Okay. So PBR 322 is having cloning sites here. So regarding cloning site also I told you, cloning site should be unique. Okay, there should be only one cloning site for one restriction enzyme. So its reason were all explained in the previous video. Please go through that. So here these are the two regions. Now apart from these cloning sites, PBR 322 is also having some other cloning sites. That is over here. Cloning site for EcoR1, cloning site for CLA1, then here it is having a cloning site for PVU2, cloning site for PVU2, okay, and here one more cloning site is there, that is HIND3. Here it is having a region called as ROP. ROP is the region which produces protein for replication. Protein for replication. Okay, here it is having site for PVU1. So you have to remember this particular diagram, cloning sites, BAM-H1, SAL1, all here 1 is present here. See, BAM-H1, SAL1, PBU1, PST1, ECO-R1, CLA1. But you have one hint 3 over here and a PBU 2 over here, opposite sides. Okay. And apart from that, you have a region which is coding for proteins for replication. So this is the structure of PBR322. Now comes, what type of questions can be asked from this? We have understood the name PBR322, what does it stand for, and we have inserted which of the features also in this. So we now know the structure of PBR322. Now what kind of questions can be asked for this for CBSE, for this board examination or any other competitive examination, NEET or any other competitive examination that you write from this one? Okay, so some application level can be asked. Let me tell you one question. Can we use ECO-R1, CLA1, hint 3 or BAM-H1? So 4 restriction enzymes names will be given. Among these 4, which one is more preferred for using as a restriction enzyme with this PBR322? So my question is these 4. ECO-R1, CLA1, hint 3, BAM-H1. Among these 4, which one will you select? Any guess? Yeah, because this seems as an odd one out. So because it is not here in this region, so slowly our mind will go towards that. Maybe BAM-H1. That's right. Okay. Anything, any vector, any restriction enzyme which is there coming and restricting these selectable marker sites, ampicillin resistant region or tetracycline resistant region, these 4, anyone among these 4 we can select. But we should never select PBU2. Why? Because it will come and cut the origin of replication itself. Then this vector won't be able to replicate and we won't get any clone of our gene of interest. So this can't act as a cloning vector. So we can never choose this one. But we prefer choosing BAM-H1, SAL1 or PBU1 or PST1. Why so? Because they are coming and cutting in a region which is acting as a selectable marker. Now what is the relation between this? Why I am saying like I have to take a restriction enzyme which is cutting the selectable marker gene only? So that is another question coming, isn't it? Why so? This is because in the name itself it is there. It is a selectable marker. Imagine I am going to cut this particular restriction enzyme, this particular vector with the restriction enzyme BAM-H1. Okay. So I am having this vector PBR322. Oh, I have just drawn a rough figure. Please excuse me for that. And here I am having the tetracycline resistant region. And in this region I am using BAM-H1 to cut this particular area. So this area is cut now. Okay, I have used the restriction enzyme BAM-H1 and I have cut that region. That region is now cut and now I am inserting my gene of interest here. This is my gene of interest. Okay, rest of the regions are all intact. Ampicillin resistant region, there is no change. Rest of the region are all intact. No change at all. Only thing is I have cut my tetracycline resistant region and I have inserted my gene of interest. Now what happened is this plasmid now it has lost the property of tetracycline resistance because that gene is the area where I had cut and I inserted my gene of interest. Now it lost the property of tetracycline resistance. Okay, so now I can use this as an indicator that my gene of interest is there. Okay, how? See, I can have three cases. One is this one, where tetracycline resistance is lost. Another one, I am drawing another plasmid here, where tetracycline resistance is there and ampicillin resistance is there. My gene of interest is not here. Okay, so this is there inside a bacterial cell. This is there inside another bacterial cell, and I have another bacterial cell inside which there is no plasmid. Now what I have to do? I have to select the bacterial cell in which my gene of interest is undergoing cloning. For that I have used the selectable marker tetracycline and ampicillin, isn't it? So I have to select the bacterial cell in which my gene of interest is there. How do I find out? I will just put these bacterial cells in a culture plate having ampicillin and ampicillin first. I'll put it. Okay, so I will see that this bacterial cell is fast dying off because it is not having a gene to resist ampicillin. It will die. Now, okay, more and more bacterial cells are now dying. So, this bacterial cell is not having ampicillin resistant region. I'll understand that. That means my PBr322 is not there inside this bacterial cell. That is why it is not able to withstand the effect of ampicillin that I have given. If this PBr322 would have been there, it is having a region to resist ampicillin, my bacterial cell would have very well survived in there, in that ampicillin medium. But it is not, so it is dying off. So I will not select this particular colony of bacterial cell. So let me come to this one. Here in this colony, I am adding ampicillin. Okay. So my bacterial cell is very well surviving here because it is having ampicillin resistant region. So I am sure that PBr322 is there inside the bacterial cell. But I am not sure whether this PBr322 is having my gene of interest or not. That is what I want. I don't want this PBr322 simply. I want this to be a recombinant PBr. Recombinant means it should have a foreign gene inside, my gene of interest inside. Okay, for that what do? Okay, I understood when I am plating it in ampicillin medium, it is able to resist. So I am sure that it is having PBr322. Now the same thing I am going to put it in another medium containing tetracycline. But there also it is surviving. That means the tetracycline region, there is no extra gene. That region is intact. There is no change. So I don't want this, isn't it? Because my gene of interest is not there. So what do I want? I want the bacterial cells which are very well able to survive in ampicillin, but they are not able to survive in tetracycline region. This is what I want. They are surviving in ampicillin but not able to survive in tetracycline. Why they are not able to survive? Because my gene of interest is there. So children, like this also for the competitive exams, question can come. Okay, so which among this? Why tetracycline? Because it might have been cut with BAM-H1 or SAL1. Why it is not showing ampicillin resistance? Because the restriction enzyme that was used might be PVU1 or PST1. That is why it is not showing that property. Likewise, you should have this particular figure in your mind regarding PBr322. Where is the cloning site? Where it is going to cut? Where our gene of interest will be there? And so why that resistance is shown or why this resistance is not shown? Likewise. But which we should never use? We should never use PVU1. And why can't we use this EcoR1, CLA1 and HINT3? Because they are not present in selectable marker regions. Even if our gene of interest is here, we cannot identify whether gene of interest is there or not. So, in order to identify the presence of our gene of interest, or in order to identify whether a recombinant plasmid has entered into this one or not, we have to go for these 4 restriction enzymes only. Okay, so I hope today's session was very fruitful and very clear to you. If you have any doubts or confusions, feel free to ask. I'll be very happy to answer your queries. If you have not subscribed the channel, please do it, support it. Thank you all.